Hello, kiddies. It's me, John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper. You're listening to Drop the Mic.
Welcome back to our spooky little San Diego podcast. We are your hosts, Wesley Swanson and Ryan Jimenez, and together we are Drop the Mic. Welcome to episode 332, Hanky Panky, which will officially kick off the best time of the year, and that's the spooky fall season where we do back-to-back horror reviews up until our favorite holiday, which is, of course, Halloween. But first, let's hear what Mr. Ryan has on the news front. What's up, dude? Welcome back. How are you?
What's up? Pretty good. Just chilling on this Friday night. The weather's getting a little cooler, so pretty soon I'll grab my Ugg boots and my big fisherman sweater, and I'll be nice and cozy. The leaves are turning, pumpkin spices in the air. It's the most beautiful time of the year.
Also, shout out to Cavity Colors, who just shipped out my new Donnie Darko hoodie, just in time.
Look at you.
And now for a special news report, brought to you by Drop the Mic.
So, let's see. So, The Nun 2 opened up last weekend to an estimated $32.6 million in its opening weekend. So again, horror is at the forefront of the box office, and it's a great time to be alive. I went to go see it. I know you went to go see it too, Wes, so I'm sure we'll talk about it in our Rex.
Yes.
But yeah, $32.6 million, that's a good amount of money, especially for a movie that I thought that was going to be hit kind of hard because they couldn't do any promotional stuff for it or any red carpet stuff for it, things like that, but I was wrong. Also, was it rated R?
I will look that up right now, but I believe so. I believe it was. Yeah. Because it's got some crazy kills in there. They're fast, but they're pretty brutal.
Yeah. Moving forward, A24 is now selling a screen accurate replica of the Talk to Me party hand. It doubles as a smoking device. You can put some tobacco in it. I guess that's what all those young kids are doing now. Or an incense burner. And it can be yours for a low price of $110. If you want to start a GoFundMe for me, so you guys can purchase this for me for my birthday / Christmas / half birthday gift, I would appreciate it. It's fucking awesome, dude, and it's badass that they made it like an incense burner.
Yeah. I was really surprised to see the functionality of it. I was like, that's really ingenious. And even the marketing, or at least on social, how they were light up and let it in or whatever. Yeah. So it's a play on what the movie's actually about, and the screen accuracy based on the pictures is pretty goddamn impressive, down to the Sharpie autographs or whatever.
Yeah, dude, it's A24 always puts out good shit like that too, merchandise for their movies. But yeah, go ahead and pre-order that shit and give that movie more love. In some sports news, because I know you guys are all football nuts like me, all you San Diego Chargers, LA Charger fans. ESPN and Disney are set to air a live football game this Sunday between the Jaguars and Falcons, completely animated in real time. The Jaguars and Falcons players will be doing everything that they do on the field, but it'll look like characters from Toy Story. I don't know how the fuck they're going to do this, but I'm going to watch it. I think they're trying to do like the Nickelodeon stuff they did last year for. I think they did a couple of games. I think a playoff game too, and I think this year they're going to do a Super Bowl. I don't know if you saw any of that.
I haven't.
But
yet. No.
They like put fucking slime on the field, and fucking SpongeBob and Patrick are running down the field with the football players, and it's like little kids on commentary. It's pretty fun for kids. But yeah, it's crazy to think that they're going to be animating shit live. I don't know how the fuck they're doing it. I'm pretty sure there's some crazy ass technology involved, but I'm stoked to check it out. I think it's one of the early games, because I think it's one of the London games. So it'll be like I think 7 o'clock, 6:30 our time. So if you want to get up and watch it, but yeah, kind of crazy stuff and a weird mix for them to pick Toy Story, Disney. I don't know.
Because of the hype of Toy Story 5. What are your thoughts on that?
Dude, I don't. Toy Story 3 was so beautiful that I didn't really want a 4, and then that one was good. So I don't know. Maybe they'll just keep on doing them and prove me wrong. Did you like 4?
I did.
Did you like it more than 3, or did you like 3 more?
3 was a beautiful send off, right? As you said.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I really don't know how they're going to top that in 4. And then they brought in this kind of different dynamic that actually worked. So if they're doing a full-fledged 5 theatrically, they must have something up their sleeve.
Yeah. For all you Buffy fans out there, a new spin-off audio series titled Slayers, a Buffyverse story is in the works for Audible. The series follows Spike 20 years after the Buffy series finale, and the original cast is set to return. How do you feel about this?
I was stoked. I just read that yesterday. I know Charisma Carpenter is returning and going to have a prominent role, as well as a few other recognizable voices from the, as you said, from the Buffy verse. So I think it's really cool. Dark Horse has been putting out graphic novels, like kind of like, I guess, side stories, continuing where the show left off. So it's cool to see like them just still returning to this material. But yeah, I will say this: I love this show, but fuck Joss Whedon, right?
Yeah, no, Joss Whedon is a piece of shit. Yeah, I know. My cousin is like this. Buffy is like her favorite franchise, movie, anything. Buffy is like her fucking favorite thing ever, and I know she's stoked. I do have something to confess. I have never watched an episode before in my life.
Really? So what made you...
really?
Can I ask what made you drop this for news?
Because I know Buffy is big in people's hearts, even though Joss Whedon is a piece of shit. And I know my cousin was super stoked, and we talked about it, so I had to throw it in there. But I am going to make it a priority this season, this spooky season, to fucking bust out the entire series. So get ready for me talking about Buffy every single day, or every single episode. And I know it's a lot, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out, start checking it out, and kind of binge it.
Awesome, yeah.
Also, like, it sucks because both the movie and the TV show is like they're like ruined by shitty people, right?
Well, yeah, and not to mention, I don't know if you knew this, but Joss wrote that movie too.
I did not know that. That makes it even worse.
Yeah, it's always been his like, I guess, general idea, you know, in the way that fucking Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2, that piece of shit that did those movies.
God damn it, I love fucking what's his name in that, Paul Rubens.
Yeah, one of of course, disregarding Pee-wee, definitely one of the best roles.
Such a good role. Oh man! All right. I know you're probably stoked for this, but Brightburn 2 is being developed supposedly, and I guess like the the people behind it are trying to throw some AI shit into it, I guess. That's from what I was reading. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, my buddy. Shout out to my buddy Leslie. He sent me this that thread on Twitter, and I was like, okay, I liked the original Brightburn. I thought it was a good flick and a good kind of villain alternative to the Clark Kent stuff, you know. But yeah, I wasn't wild on them announcing that they're going to use AI to kind of to like further the project, which I don't know, man.
And they gave some like stupid ass explanation on why they're doing it. It's like, we don't, especially with everything going on, like with the strikes and everything, like why would you, as a film, like as anybody in that industry, why would you even talk about AI right now?
Yeah, just trying to ruffle feathers or something. I don't know.
So the Lando show for Disney Plus is now being made into a movie, which is pretty crazy, and I'm stoked for. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, that was in my notes, but that's okay.
Oh shit.
I do know that it is Gambino's brother, Steven, I believe, is like working on that project.
Yeah, I'm stoked, dude. I like I said, I think I'm one of the few that actually liked Solo, even though, and I think the finished project, after it being fucking rewritten and fucking the directors being fucking fired and what's his name being brought in? Who the fuck was brought in? Ron Howard. I liked it for what it was, and I loved Bino as Lando, so I'm stoked. Pro Wrestling Illustrated just released their top 100 wrestlers of the year. This includes like character matches, promos. They factor all that stuff in. Have you seen this list, Wes, at all?
No, I have not.
No. So top 10 is Seth Rollins is number 1, and then Roman Reigns 2, Jon Moxley 3, Gunther 4, Hio del Vikingo is 5, which we saw him on AW, and he was doing mad fucking flips and shit when we went to go see him in San Diego. MJF is 6, Okada is 7, Orange Cassidy is at 8, which I think is fucking awesome. Josh Alexander's at 9, and then my boy Cody is at 10. It's kind of crazy that 1, 2, and 3 are all ex-Shield members, and it's kind of crazy that they gave Seth Rollins his flowers and put him number 1.
Yeah, number
Roman,
1,
which I think is fucking awesome. And if you've been watching WWE the last year, he's thrown that company on his back and a fucking workhorse, and I'm glad that they gave him that World Heavyweight Championship to work with, because I think he's done an awesome job. MJF at 6 is pretty wild though. I think I would flip him and Gunther, put him at 6 and Gunther at 4. I know Gunther's had some banger ass matches at Mania and Clash at the Castle last year, but crazy time. Good time for wrestling. Don't be a punk ass bitch and be like AEW sucks or WWE sucks. There's a slew of movies coming out, being put out into theaters. One of them being Jordan Peele's Get Out. It's coming to AMC theaters September 22nd to 28th. So if you didn't get to see it in the theaters, now's your chance. I know I saw it opening weekend, and then they did like a year. I don't know if you remember this, but AMC did like a year, like a 1 year anniversary screening. And I went to that, and I pretty much was the only person in that theater. But yeah, go check out that badass movie in theaters. And then Hocus Pocus for the 30th anniversary is being put back on the big screen for one day, October 6th.
Twilight of the Dead finds its director in Brad Anderson. This has been kind of in development hell due to the fact that George A. Romero passed away in 2017. He had been working on a treatment with another gentleman, and now it's being taken over by Brad Anderson. You might know his work in such things like was The Machinist with Christian Bale. Pretty exciting stuff there. It's supposed to be the finale of the Dead film series that, of course, Romero is renowned for. So here's to hoping that it's good.
I don't know, maybe it's because no one wanted to touch it, and he was kind of one of the only ones that wanted to direct it. But those are big shoes to fill, dude.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
I saw a good amount of movies. I finally checked out No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yes, I went to see it. I took my sister to see that, actually, yes.
I thought it was funny, dude. I hope she does more comedies. I think she knows how to play that specific role pretty well. But yeah, dude, I laughed my ass off.
I'm glad you liked it, because I kind of got made fun of for wanting to watch that movie.
Sometimes, dude, you just need a fucking raunchy comedy in your life, and that's what it was. And yeah, I dug it a lot. So yeah, I think you can buy it digitally, rent it everywhere. I think I waited a little bit. I think it just came out digitally to rent a couple 3-4 weeks ago. So I waited a little bit, but yeah, check it out. I checked out Asteroid City. I don't know if you've checked it out.
No, I haven't seen the newest Wes Anderson film.
It's Wes Anderson, all right. It's it's good. The cast is good. There's a lot of shit happening at once, but can't expect less from that fool. And it looks awesome too, just like every other Wes Anderson film. There's some good cameos in it too. Streaming now on Max if you want to check it out. All right, then we can talk about The Nun, because I went to go see it last week and it was awesome. I liked it way more than the first one. The imagery is fucking awesome. There's some cool deaths in it. I think, like you said before in the beginning, they're real quick, but I dug it a lot, dude. And I don't think it's no mistake that Akilah Cooper, who wrote *Malignant* and *Megan*, she did the story and she was one of the 3 screenwriters for it. So props to her, because those 2 other movies fucking rock, and this one was awesome too. No, Warner Brothers needs to pay Bonnie Aarons everything she wants, because she's fucking awesome as the Nun. Pay her for what you didn't pay her, and sign her to fucking whatever big deals she wants, what you guys want, and give her all the money, because she literally is that fucking franchise.
And look at what the movie's doing without any support.
Yeah.
I have a couple. I've been watching on Apple TV Plus. I've been watching Ted Lasso, which is pretty good. It's fun, even if you don't care about soccer. So check that out. Have you? Are you interested in that? I haven't
watched it.
No?
I am interested, just not that interested.
That's all right.
I know my parents are like, you need to watch it. It's the best show ever. But they love The Big Bang Theory, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah. And then on Netflix this past Wednesday, Netflix released their new little docu-series. I think it's 7 episodes in. It's called Wrestlers. And it's all about OVW. Al Snow's the little indie wrestling circuit they could. Pretty fucking awesome show so far.
I heard it's good. I still need to check it out. Is it are they dropping episodes per week, or is it all on there?
No, I believe it's all on there. It's
okay.
Yeah. It's dropped all at once, and they're an hour long. Especially if you like stuff like Dark Side of the Ring, it's pretty good. And especially you, Ryan, I think you'll appreciate it a lot.
I wrote something down, or I screenshotted something down before we got on air, and I wanted to mention it, and then you brought Atlas up. This is going completely off topic, but I have to tell you something right now.
Uh-huh.
This fool tweeted out something about calling fucking Romeo and Juliet one of the best films ever made? That fool better be kidding, dog.
No, he's 100%. He's 100% real with that.
And he gave you shit about wanting to go see that fucking movie with Jennifer Lawrence?
You can go back. They did. I can't remember if he was on that show or not, but we covered Romeo and Juliet on this show, and I sat there that entire hour and a half and was really not nice about the movie.
Man.
Can't stand Baz Luhrmann, and especially not that movie.
Okay, going back to your Rex. I'm sorry, Wes.
No, it's okay. That was a fun side mission. This Fool, season 2 on Hulu, has been out for a couple months now, and I'm about halfway through. Very, very good stuff. I know you wrecked it on this show for the first season. And yeah, the second season has the exact same kind of longevity and is very, very funny. So check that out on Hulu. It's called This Fool.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
Kicking off spooky season, finally. It's a little film called May. It's rated R. It's from 2002. It's a horror comedy, and it runs at 1 hour and 33 minutes, and it's got a well-deserved 70% on Rotten. Written and directed by Lucky McKee, starring Angela Bettis as May Kennedy, Jeremy Sisto as Adam, and Anna Faris as Polly. The film follows May, an awkward young veterinarian assistant who is struggling to find friends and potentially fall in love. While being obsessed with perfections and imperfections in human beings, she soon finds out how dark and brooding the real world can be and acts accordingly. May had a very limited theatrical release on February 7, 2003, and ultimately made just over $634,000 on a budget of $1.7 million, making it unsuccessful at the box office. However, the film did receive praise from critics, and over time it has definitely gained well-earned attention and acclaim as an early 2000s cult classic. Roger Ebert even gave the film a perfect 4 out of 4 stars, stating this: a horror film and something more and deeper, something disturbing and oddly moving. End quotes. Although underground fans continue to find this film, it still feels criminally underseen or overlooked by most, which is a real shame, as it is one of the more fascinating character studies to come out of its era, playing with themes of mental illness and what it truly means to feel out of step with the world as an outsider. Something else the film accomplishes is its constant uncomfortable yet quirky tone, which interjects subtle black humor in with its dark subject matter throughout. Doing so without feeling distracting or annoying, which is no easy task, to say the least. The film rests on the shoulders of actress Angela Bettis, who completely embodies the role, making her character's build-up so intense and at times hard to watch. When the final act rolls around, we, the audience, are completely invested in her and the unfortunate circumstances of her situation. Another standout for me is the music choices throughout that just help so much with the dread and atmosphere on screen, with an original score by James Luckett and featuring existing music from The Breeders, H is Orange, the Kelly Deal 6000, and Tommy James and the Shondell. It's not hard to believe that this score is finally available on vinyl through Mondo, which comes with alternative artwork and linear notes from the composer and director respectively. A must-buy for any fan, but I digress. Overall, May, although feeling simplistic on its surface, is a massively effective dark journey into the world of body and psychological horror, available now for free to stream with Pluto TV. 5 out of 5 scalpels or scooples. Thank you. All right, man. So, of course, I've seen this movie before. I picked it, but this is a first-time watch for you. So I can't wait to pick your brain. What are your first impressions just having watched it today before we went on air right now?
Disgusted.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. That body horror is there. And the last like 20 minutes, 25 minutes grossed out. I almost felt as dirty and gross as I did the first time watching like Chainsaw.
Wow, really? Okay.
Yeah. And it takes a lot for me to be grossed out. And obviously, like, I explain it like this, like, obviously, like, Terrifier, a movie like Terrifier, right? Just over the top. For me, though, this was a little bit more dirty and disgusting just because it felt real. Like, it feels real. Like, when you're watching it, watching her story unfold adds to the realness of it, or you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, dude, I was very disgusted, and I was thinking to myself, you son of a bitch, Wes, you didn't tell me it was going to be this gross, and I ordered myself a large 3-meat pizza. And I'm sitting there watching this with the pizza digesting in my stomach, wanting to barf. And it's crazy that I hadn't seen it before. And obviously I had heard about it. I knew Mondo had did the soundtrack. It's definitely something now that me being like the physical media person I am, I'm definitely going to go out and buy it. And I'm probably going to buy that soundtrack because you're right. The music does do a very good job in adding to the story. Very, very good pick. And I'm glad that you picked it because it's one of those movies that has always been there, and I was like, yeah, I should finally check it out, and I just always forget about. And I always see like people post about it, or the movie poster, like it's like super iconic. It's her, and she's like super pale, and her fucking eyes, and she's like staring at you and shit. I don't think I would give it 5 out of 5. I think I would be like a 4 out of 5, but it's good, dude. Very, very good.
Nice, man. I'm glad that you were so impressed because I think that there's some stuff in here that really pushes the boundaries, and you're not expecting it because of how kind of playful some of that build-up is. Like the first 45 minutes, it's fucking weird, you know, but it's also...
the first 45 minutes are like a little hard to sit through just because of how awkward it is. And how awkward she is, and it's like, god damn, this is like super, I could barely watch this. It's almost as horrifying. And then you get to the, I don't want to, no pun intended, but the meat of the film at the end, and it's like, shit, okay. When was the first time you saw this?
So that's a great question. I believe it was probably like around 2004, 2005. It came on a random, like I caught it on a random like movie station. Like it had to be like Stars or one of those, that I just caught it and I didn't know what it was. And I caught it from the beginning to end. It wasn't like I started it late or anything. And by the end, I remember I was watching it like in the middle of the night, and it was one of those films where it's like kind of changes what you thought was possible filmmaking wise, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like especially for it being such a kind of like having such a modest budget, they did a really good fucking job, and they keep you as uncomfortable as you said it was. I feel like you still want to know what's going to happen and what the resolve is going to be, because it's so strange. But yeah, watching it for the first time by myself, like in the middle of the night, and that goddamn ending, which we'll get to later, it had me shook. Like I was thinking about that for days. That image, that those final frames are like, yo, what the fuck? I love it, and just like you, even though you said you knew about its existence, you hadn't seen it, and I feel like that's unfortunately the case of a lot of people. I think they think it's going to be something else or something that it's actually not. So it's always awesome when people check it out and then they realize that it's pretty good. I don't know. I feel like it gives you a lot of different emotions, and it's worth noting that that's not easy to do in a film like this. How it feels so seamless. in between the characters and the kind of their interactions. Even Anna Faris, you know, she's coming off of with this. She's coming off of the Scary Movie franchise, and it's bizarre to me that she did this role. Although she does seem like she's having fun, and her character's kind of weirdo too. But yeah, it was cool to see her, how do you say, like, somewhat be serious, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
What's her name? Angela Bettis, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think her portrayal of the character is what, like, could you see anybody else doing it? Like, without her, do you think it'd be the movie it is?
No.
And her performance?
No, absolutely. I think she is what she's the draw, you know?
Mm-hmm. Also, too, it has to take, like, a role like that has to take a lot out of you, right? Like, I can't see how she could be so, just for me, like, you're portraying this person, and then in one scene, and then, like, you just snap out of it, and the director says cut, and you go about your day, and then you go back to it. Like, it had to have taken a toll on her to do and say and act the things that she does on screen, because it really is, like I said, it's hard to watch.
That's I think you have a point. But also, something that this film is touching on is we meet May. When the movie starts, we meet May, and she's a kid, right? And she has like this issue where she has a lazy eye, and her parents seem like these kind of over-the-top perfectionists. Her mom doesn't seem very kind person. I'll just put it that way. And she gives her the idea to wear the eye patch at school, and also gives her a doll named Susie, who supposedly the mom made when she was little. But the whole thing is because her mom or the parents are perfectionists, they don't allow May to take this doll out of her box. So she's forced to keep her only friend essentially inside of this glass box. And then we time jump to, I'm going to say, May is probably early to mid 20s, if I had to put her like an age group. And she still has Susie and what seems like very little friends. And going back to my point of starting this, you can see like the trauma that's happened with her, with how she was raised, and her, you know, kind of her lazy eye, and how that whatever happened when she was young, whether it be in school or at home, has forced her to detach from society in a lot of ways, where she doesn't know she doesn't have regular social cues, you know? And she's kind of playing catch up throughout a lot of this movie, where she's learning from Polly, which is her coworker, turns into her friend. But then Polly is kind of being, in my eyes, watching this movie is kind of predatory towards May, where she's like I guess a player of sorts, and just doesn't really take life too seriously. And then, of course, May is also interested in Adam, right? Is his name? The love interest.
Yeah.
Who seems like a cool dude, at least at first. Kind of like a cinephile type. He's a mechanic who obviously loves cars a lot, and that kind of plays into the plot device of May being obsessed with his hands, because he works with his hands. May and Adam's relationship is kind of complicated, because you have Adam, who is a guy who thinks he likes weird and weirdos, you know, and then as he continues to hang out with May, it kind of gets more and more bizarre, these situations where he doesn't know what to do anymore. And in particular, there's a key scene where May, Adam comes over after kind of blowing her off for a little bit, and he shows her it's a student film, correct?
Yeah.
Where it's a black and white student film. This couple goes to the park for like a picnic, and then they start kind of making out and stuff. But the catch is they start eating each other on screen or whatever, being cannibalistic. And I feel like a part of me thought that Adam thought that May was going to be disturbed by it, or like, you know, he wanted to get, he wanted to get some kind of rise out of her, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he's they're sitting on the couch, and he kind of keeps like looking over to May to see her reaction, and she really just kind of gets happy and scooches closer to him. And it's like she takes that in the wrong way, like if he's into that, almost like a weird fetish type of thing, because of May is so how do you say, unexperienced with the relationship stuff. She kind of takes that short story like too seriously. And
yeah.
And when Adam and May are being intimate later on, May bites his lip to the point of she breaks the skin, and he's like bleeding all over her. But then she's like, isn't this is like what you want? It's just like your movie. And at that point he's like, oh, you know, like
a little bit too weird for me.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, I think I'm gonna go. Another thing that I'm not sure if you picked up on or not, because you've only seen it once, and I feel like this movie kind of changes the more that you watch it, but something that I noticed this time around is that I feel like the Susie doll, you never see it come alive or really do much of anything except for the glass. The entire film, the Susie doll glass is slowly cracking the glass throughout the film, and I feel like that's representing the psyche, the mind of our character May.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because there's scenes towards the end where it's really cracking, and she's like yelling at it, like, "Stop talking! I told you to shut up!" And then it cracks even more. Yeah, no, I totally picked up on that.
Yeah, once I guess like that. I don't know if you would call it like like a split personality or what, but once Susie is kind of released, you see like the incredible change in the May character, where Angela Bettis is now, she's fitting in, she's talking like super fucking how do you say, like very just empowered, you know, like
mm-hmm.
She flips the switch where she's a completely different person. And then she also it's important to point out, because it's like a very big plot point, but she's a seamstress of sorts who is able to make her own wardrobe. So then once Susie, the character, is kind of demolished by the blind kids, that May makes her suit, and if you freeze frame, it's like she makes the outfit that Susie was wearing, the doll was wearing for herself, and it's almost like May embodies Susie, or that, I don't know what you would say, like another side to May is unlocked, and that leads us into the kind of final act where she takes revenge on everyone. Because her mom tells her in the beginning, like, oh, I've always said, like, if you can't make friends, then you should make one of your own. Again, May takes that advice in the literal sense.
Yeah, what a wild last, what is that, like 30 minutes, 25 minutes?
Yes.
Where she kind of just goes off the rails. I did not pick up on the, god damn, that does, what's the doll's name? Susie.
Susie, yes.
Her like kind of embodying her, and because I think she even does her makeup kind of like she has like a real super pale face.
And the
when
eyeliner.
she goes in the eyeliner and the dress. Yeah, now that I'm remembering, I remember. Yeah, as soon as I saw that fucking doll, as soon as I saw her mom give her that doll, I'm like, nope, not today. And then she's like, "Can I take it out?" She's like, "No, this is a special doll. You can never take it out." I'm like, Also, I know we're kind of you're kind of getting towards the end of the movie, but what about like she goes and helps out that school?
Yes.
How insane is that fucking scene?
So she starts volunteering at this school for the blind, and when there's that one-liner when she goes in and May's trying to be like very specific on the type of kids that she wants to work with, and the lady at the receptionist is like, "Oh, what, you only want to work with a certain kind of blind kids or what?" Just fucking burns her. It's awesome. It's a very small piece of dialogue, but it's great. And everything's going well. I feel like she's using that to fill that void of emptiness where, you know, she's kind of she's lost all these new people in her life essentially, and is looking for something to do with her time besides work. So she goes, and then she first meets one of these kids who makes her like an ashtray, and that goes okay or whatever. And then things aren't going super well for May, and May brings the Susie doll to work to kind of do like a show and tell thing at school, even though I'm not sure what the thought process of that was, because how would she not take her out of the box if the kids can't see anything, because how are they going to know what the doll feels like? But whatever. She drops, so the kids end up getting too excited over the doll, and they kind of rush May, right? And May drops, it causes May to drop the box, and the glass goes everywhere. One of the teachers get up to assist and falls down, slips over a chair or something, and then so you have all of this broken glass on the floor with a classroom full of blind kids who are not aware of what's going on, obviously. So they get on there, in their minds, they're like, oh shit, like, Susie's on the floor, like, this is our opportunity. Let's like see what she feels like, I guess. And then so you have all of these craziest fucking scene, dude. All of these kids just crawling over broken glass, and there's blood everywhere. And May it causes May to snap because the kids ruin the doll, break the doll. And then you see May go home, and she's just covered in blood still, with this parts of Susie. She gets on the elevator, and you see that couple from the beginning of the film where they're making out, and she's like standing in the elevator watching them. That's actually, the guy is the director of the film, Lucky.
Oh shit,
McKee. That's his little like cameo in the movie that you would never think like anything of. You pulled a M. Night Shyamalan, I guess. But yeah, when she sees them the second time, they look at her, and she's like just covered in blood, and that's the kind of her, how do you say, psyche goes like plummets after that, I feel. Because she's lost her best friend, and it's like, that's why I said it kind of feels like she becomes Susie in a lot of ways, the doll, and then decides to take all of these perfect parts, as she says throughout the film, and create this kind of Frankenstein-esque a best friend who she deems Amy. Also, did you catch the other cameo, or do you know who I'm talking about?
No, I do not.
So the punker dude,
James Duval, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's Frank the Bunny in Donnie Darko.
God damn it, you're right.
It's a big one.
That is a big one. And until he's like barely in it, right? Like in this, he's like, how long do you think his cameo's in this? Like 2 minutes?
Yeah. Let's talk. We didn't talk about him, but so he's fucking funny in this, dude. So weird. His hair's weird because it's like, all right, you have the mohawk, that's cool, but then he has like the locks on the bottom. And then he sees May at the bus stop, and she's like kind of in a bad mood, and he's all, hey, you like want to go get some jujubes with me? And she's like, oh, all right. You know, she looks over. She kind of blows him off. She looks over again, and she notices his arms, and I guess she's like into his arms. And he actually has a Frankenstein tattoo, which is kind of a foreshadow of the end of the film, which is interesting.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
God damn it.
But so she takes him back to her place, and they're really eating jujubes. And he's all, yo, it's getting really hot in here. Do you mind if I take my shirt off? And she's like, do what you want, you know? Like, I don't give a shit. So he does. And then he's all, oh, man, it's getting like, it's burning up. I'm burning up in here. Do you think you have some ice cubes I can rub on my nipples?
The absolute word. Like, he's ready at this chick's house. His shirt's already off. He doesn't need to do any more. And he does that.
And then he goes to the freezer to grab some ice, kind of without permission, and then he sees the cat, which is I think Polly's cat. She's supposed to be watching, right?
Yeah. Well, no, not watching. Like Polly gave her the cat, right?
Yeah. I guess you're right. She kind of adopts the cat, and then ends up accidentally murdering the cat with the ashtray out of a rage because the cat doesn't give a shit about her either.
I shouldn't be laughing at that.
I know that part in the movie always made me feel bad. Like, y'all didn't have to hurt the
As soon as I saw that fucking cat ignore her, I'm like, not the cat!
He goes to the bathroom and she just... Oh, man. But anyway, she tries to keep the cat around for as long as she can. Even though it's funny because she's like a vet assistant that you would think she would know how to do something more like a taxidermy or something, like less
also like
brutal.
Why didn't she just throw the cat away?
I have no idea. I think that she felt, because obviously the kill was an accident. She didn't really mean for... I don't think she thought the ashtray was going to hit the cat at all. And yeah, I don't know why she doesn't dispose of the body or bury the body. But she wraps him in saran wrap, and there's that really weird shot of her like spraying the cat with like some kind of deodorizer, or, you know, like what Febreze would be or something.
Yeah.
And then wraps him in saran wrap and puts him in the freezer, and then, you know, cut back to our guy. I think he's known in the script, he's just under blank.
Yeah.
But then if you watch the subtitles, they put like his character's name just says Punk for the subtitles in the actual movie, or the one that I saw at least, or whatever. But he sees the cat and freaks out and is like, what the fuck kind of weird shit is this? And then, you know, May with her no social cues is like, oh, does this mean like you want to be my best friend now that you know my like freezer secret? And he's all, I don't want to be your fucking friend, weirdo. And he starts you know, bullying her, and even though he should have just like walked out and left, he kind of backs up and realizes that he's probably unsafe at that moment, and he is correct because she picks up scissors and impales him in the head.
And she just doesn't impale him to the head. Like, she impales him through his fucking hands too, right?
Yeah, it's like both hands, and it goes still into his skull, and he just bleeds out everywhere. And yeah, and that's when she starts reading the amputation manuals of how to do it correctly. What are your thoughts on Adam? Is he the one he's from Clueless, right?
Yeah, Clueless. I mean, character-wise, I feel like he could have easily like when that scene when she calls him again and she's standing in the fucking shower with the cat's body in the shower for some reason. He picked up the phone. He obviously didn't recognize her voice, and then she tells him who he is. Who she tells him, it's May. He could have been right there. Okay, see you later, bye. But he continues to talk to her, and then when she asks him out, he said, "Oh, I'm busy," and she's like, "What about tomorrow?" And he basically gives her like a maybe. It's like, dog, if you didn't want anything to do with her, don't be telling her. Don't be telling this girl who you think might be kind of not all there. I don't know if he like felt bad for her or not. And then that scene when she does finally kill him, he just lets her in the house, like with the girl that he has there with her.
Well, technically the girlfriend does it because I guess they had been.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he had been. I think in that interaction, this also movie is well, the conclusion at least is based on Halloween, and that's pretty badass because that makes this a real like a Halloween film. It takes place on the day because they're all dressed up. But in that interaction with Adam's new girlfriend, she lets her in the house almost as a like, yo, you're no competition, like we're gonna humor you right now. And then you can see that Adam is kind of upset over it because he doesn't want that to happen, but then he's also like, I feel bad. So I feel like he's really letting his guard down when he doesn't want to. He kind of pays for not listening to his instincts because May fucking stabs the girl in the side of the throat, cuts off his hands. But the Polly one is pretty brutal because that's not off screen. May goes over to see Polly, or Anna Faris's character, and she pulls out the scalpels while Polly is kind of like sitting in between her legs. So she has like the clear advantage already. She puts the scalpels to her neck, and then Polly, being like a weirdo, she thinks it's like some like weird like sex game or something where she's all, "Oh no, don't hurt me. I know you would never hurt me." And then May just like brutally slices her throat on both sides. And she obviously those are so sharp that you don't know that you've even been cut until it's probably too late. So she's already bled out, and then the other kind of the other girl that Polly's dating, I forget. I think her name's like Ambrosia or something like that. Right?
Yeah, it's Ambrosia.
She fucking, who does not like May whatsoever, or is just really weirded out by her. She comes home. And then, May comes out of the back room having already murdered Polly. And then May is like, "Oh, can you give me a spin? Can you give me a spin? You have really nice legs." And then, of course, Ambrosia is like just talking shit back to her and is just like, what are you doing here? And where's Polly? And like, what's going on? And then May ends up stabbing her in the head brutally with the same two scalpels, right?
Yeah
like in both temples on each side, and then Ambrosia's fucking drinking the milk, drops the milk, and there's that really cool kind of composition of the blood in the milk.
The blood in the milk, dude, disgusting.
Yeah.
Fucking gross.
And she totally chops off the chick's legs. The ending. Of course, May builds her new best friend, Amy, and she realizes that her new friend can't see her. And the film comes kind of full circle where she's like starts to contemplate taking out her lazy eye, I guess to give to her friend, which sounds, I guess, like a good idea in her mind, in her world, wherever she is psychologically at that point. She does it very brutal with scissors, which, again, probably could have done that in a better way.
Yeah.
I mean, really, realistically, if you wanted your eye to be, you would want the eye to be in better condition if it was truly for that. She puts the eye on her new friend and kind of lays down and is like, you're supposed to be able to see me. You need to wake up now. And that's when the arm reaches over and caresses her face, which is what. Now with this, with that ending, what is your take on that ending?
But yeah, no, I think that's what it is, right? Like, it's in her mind.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to think that she's lost it at this point, and she's made up what she would want to happen in that situation.
Let me tell you, when that fucking hand and arm started to move, I was like, what?
It got you? You weren't expecting that?
No, I was not expecting that. Yeah, the last couple of seconds, that last shot, it's gnarly. Fucking awesome.
And just like if you go and read the Roger Ebert's full review, he even says in those final moments, if it had been any other movie, it would have probably got like a chuckle or a laugh for being cheesy. But given the context of what this movie is, we accept it and we like it or whatever. And I thought that was pretty cool. Obviously,
you know what it reminds me of now, honestly, is Barbarian.
Yeah.
Like, just completely kind of like off the fucking rails. You're not expecting anything. But I do think at the end of this movie and that scene especially, like, it's not meant for you to laugh, right? It's not meant for you to it's not meant to be funny. As to Barbarian is meant to, get that reaction out of you. But yeah, I the two are similar in the way they work.
Actually, yeah, that's a good. We just did Barbarian. I completely see that comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the dude who is just randomly comes in and he's all, yo, like my dog, he had 4 legs and now he only has 3.
At first, dude, I thought he was like he was either high or he was drunk, and then like 10 minutes later, it's like the scene is back and it's really the fucking dog's leg is just on the table. He's like, "Do you think you could put it back?"
She's like, "Yeah, I can." That guy's funny though, where he's all, like, I brought him in for a checkup and he was fine, and now like he only has 3 legs, and I try to play fetch, I throw the ball and nothing happens, man. Nothing happens. But yeah, this movie is really, really good.
Honestly, dude, it's gonna definitely like take a couple rewatches, but I think you're gonna end up being up there for me just because of how crazy it is, and just not even when you Google the movie and like read what it's about, you have no fucking clue or idea that it ends up being the way it is.
No, it's a movie that I feel like the mystery behind it is kind of doing it service over the years, because it's not, when people are finding it, they know nothing like about the actual subject matter when they're watching it for the first time. When you watch the trailer or you even look up the artwork, there's like barely any artwork at all. It just got, and it's only in the UK, but it got like a new, like extensive Blu-ray special edition, which is pretty nice actually.
Damn, I wonder if it's region free.
No, it's. I looked it up already.
Fuck.
It's B, unfortunately, but hopefully.
Yeah, and I looked up the Mondos because I remember them putting it out, and that was one of the instances I was like, oh, that's crazy. That's a movie I've never seen, and Mondo's doing something. It must be, must be good. And the artwork for that fucking the record is awesome. Like it's in that dress she's in, and it's like all red and shit.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. I'm stoked that you like this, dude.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. As soon as I saw it, like 5 minutes in, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put fucking Wes through a table right now. And then I saw it, and then at like 10, 15, I was like, okay, I see Wes.
You had to know that there had to be some reason that I would pick.
Oh
this.
yeah. I was sitting there like, okay, he had to have picked this for something, and sure enough, you did.
About next week, you had a little idea, correct?
I do have an idea. I don't know. We'll come up with a list of movies, but for the next pick, I think we should let you guys, the fans, kind of choose what you want us to do. So we'll do like a poll or something, right, on Instagram.
Yep.
And let you guys decide what we do next for this wonderful time of the year. I think one of them should be a little French flick called Raw. Something that came out in the beginning of the year, which is super. I've seen people love it, they hate it, but Infinity Pool.
Oh, Infinity Pool.
I think those two are my pick for the poll.
All right, Raw or Infinity Pool?
Well, Wes, we did just update our Spotify playlist.
That is correct.
So if you guys are interested in, again, listening to music that we have been listening to for the last couple of weeks, or new music we think you should check out, I think you should go over and give it a listen. Go to Spotify. I know it's on Apple as well. Just search up Drop the Mic. It'll pop up. There's a little bit of everything for everybody. This week, I know we put one of Wes's favorite albums from this year, The Armed. There's a song from the new Armed that is awesome. You got the new Crosses, New Citizen. You got some old stuff from Most Def, Def Club. Shout out fucking San Diego. And then you have some older hardcore stuff like Kutching Tongues. I put some Glixen. I don't know, they're kind of a newer band. Super shoegazy, super dreamy, if that is your jam. New Provoker. I got some Bay Area Andre Nicotina on there. Faith No More. I don't know, have you listened to that new Scowl remix?
Yeah, I did.
So damn good, dude. It's like a completely different song. That's on there. Yeah, check it out. It's a playlist that is I think me and Wes we got good music taste.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, that's a solid list. Everybody check that out.
You can save the playlist.
Save it.
And we update it every week. So every week there'll be some new music on there, different things. Maybe you're not you want to broaden your horizons. There's definitely something there for you on that playlist.
Also, my side business, A Pin Apart online shop, is going to be having a booth October 21st in National City. The event should be from, I think it's 4 to 9. Secret horror movie. Tons of, merch and shit is going to be available. It's a free event, so RSVP. It's going to be at this little place in National City called Bookworks and such. And I'll be dropping a new flyer soon for that.
Oh, yeah. yeah, go. I don't know if any of you guys have ever looked into Wes's eyes, but let me tell you, magnificent. So go and spend your hard-earned money at that little get-together and check out some rad vendors and buy some cool shit and support Wes because he has a lot of pet kids that he needs to take care of. They deserve all the best treats and toys.
That's absolutely right, sir. Yeah, come check us out. It should be fun. With that being said, if you're stumbling upon this podcast, we operate out of San Diego, California, and we go by Drop the Mic. We release new content each and every week. You can find us on a plethora of platforms, including YouTube, Spreaker, Stitcher, Sods. I'm not even sure if Stitcher's around anymore. But Apple Podcasts, all the good stuff, third-party apps. Check us out. Drop the mic. We have a shit ton of backlogged episodes. We jump genres constantly, although now you've caught us temporarily in our spooky season. So you can look forward to back-to-back horror for the next few weeks until we hit October 31st.
About the ongoing strike and us being a podcast that does movie-related stuff and pop culture stuff, I feel like you guys should know. I think Wes has said it multiple times the last couple episodes, but obviously we stand with everybody who's on strike right now because everyone deserves a livable fucking wage, including the people that give us art year in and year out. And then fucking Bill Maher and Drew Barrymore for continuing to do their shows without fucking writers. Look, like, we all love Drew Barrymore, right? Like, obviously. But, and then today she puts out that, like video kind of explaining herself and why she's doing it. And then she took it down and deleted it all. Like right before we got on air. So like I said, I said a couple episodes ago, and I lived by this my whole life. If you're about something, you be about something. And if she's about being a fucking scab, then be about it. But don't go back on your word because it's making you look bad.
Don't backpedal.
Fuck no. But those are my last words, Wes.
All right, strong last words. I'm glad I asked. That was cool. This is a good note to end on. Yeah. Tune in on our social medias. We have an active Twitter. That handle is @DropTheMicPod, or if your Instagram is more your speed, our handle on Instagram is @DropTheMic_podcast. Follow us on there, and look out for that poll in our stories, which should be coming very, very soon here, so we can narrow it down. Raw versus Infinity Pool for next week's slot. Let's see who wins. And go watch May, which is streaming right now for free. Like I said in my write-up, on Pluto. Insane movie. Very overlooked. Insane body horror. It deserves all the love. So go check that out. If you got this far in the episode and you haven't seen it, go see it. Or if you haven't watched it in a while and you forgot what it's about, go see it, because, man, it is brutal and great. All right, man. So with that, this is Ryan Jimenez, Wesley Swanson signing off, saying good fight, or good fright, and good night.